All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Get that view up. There we go. Okay, should be all good to go. Interestingly, is it going to show that I'm live? That would be great if it did. Come on. Everything's glitching. Okay, that looks good to go. All right, hello everyone, and as I said, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. You'll notice in the bottom right, which I can't actually put my mouse down there, but oh, hello. Oh, am I still good? Uh-oh, did the stream go down? Oh no, we're good. Okay, it was misbehaving a bit. Um, but you'll notice in the bottom right that this is the last KSP stream for a Wednesday. It will still continue on Saturdays. It's just I'm moving this series to Saturday only. Um, Next Wednesday we'll start a new mini series until I figure out what I'm gonna do for a long form series. I haven't decided what the mini series will be. I'm kind of deciding between two things right now. But we shall figure that out. First of all, these two transfer windows are very close, which is but you'll notice, well, first of all, let me pull up the contracts window. You'll notice this is a new contract, so we have a contract to build an orbital station around Eve, which, we're going to do eventually. We have this contract, which is to detect two new comets on the with a infrared telescope, and also need to make sure that I get this thing open. There we go. And then we also have a new rescue mission, and then I thought there was one more, but maybe not. Two contracts are gone. One was a part recovery contract. I built the crafts and everything to recover the part, and then it wasn't there. I was checking absolutely everywhere, and there was no sign of this part. So I don't know what happened to it. So I just canceled that contract. I also canceled one of the MUN contracts just because I couldn't be bothered, honestly. But there's a couple contracts that are still there that I need to do between streams. And then the rest of these are basically go back to Gilly and, go back to Gilly, go back to Eve, go to Duna. So that is all well and good. But we do have a lot of science. So I want to spend some science. I'm not going to unlock the Rapier yet. That is the other 1,000 node that we have. We could unlock both of these, or we can unlock this and one of these. And I think I'm going to unlock this because it gives us the large holding tank. And then between the two of these, I am actually going to go for this so that we can first of all get bigger rover wheels, and we can also get the grip pads. Those are definitely going to be useful. It also gives us a couple of rotors. Not that I think I'm going to use those, but we'll get them anyway. All right, so now we just need 1550 science to finish out the tech tree, which is kind of insane. I was also looking at the admin building to see, how much science it would be to convert all of our science into funds. And it's actually 2,700 to do 100%. Which you can also just do research rights sellout. You can always do that. It's just that's going to be really annoying to do over and over again. So if we get an insane amount of science, then that would actually be kind of nice to just do this so we don't have to worry about it anymore, and that way we don't have to worry about the costs either. Some craft are going to get very expensive. But the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to build this craft to detect some comets. Oh, yeah, and this was the craft that I was going to recover the part with. It was just a modified Curtis 14. So what version of Figaro are we on? Because technically, we've launched multiple of these, and I didn't rename any of them. So I think I'm just going to call this Figaro 9 anyways, and that'll be perfectly fine. Now this has a bunch of science equipment on it, which we don't actually need. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take off everything below here for a second, and I'm going to swap this out for a payload, or a service bay, which I believe can fit this. No, it cannot. Okay. So what I will do instead is I will just attach this directly. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. Is that the same size as that? It is. Okay. In that case, what I'm gonna do is something like this, and I'm just gonna attach the service bay directly and put it here, and I'll have it facing this way. I'll attach this like this. Does that still cover the whole thing? Yes, it does. So we can go ahead and put this on a custom action group. So custom 1 is the solar panels, custom 2 is nothing right now, custom 3 is deactivate all controls. I'm actually going to put that on custom 2. Custom 3, I'll have toggle the service bay doors. And custom 4, let me open this up real fast. Custom 4, I will have, well, I guess you can't actually put that on an action group. Oh, well then. Never mind. I will do that manually. Okay. So I'm leaving this with a ridiculous amount of delta V for a specific reason. And first of all, let me check that this thruster is still good. It is. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and launch this. But I'm leaving this with a ridiculous amount of delta V. Because I want to put this in an inclined orbit. Not that I've actually tested this, but I believe that putting it in an inclined orbit will help it detect comets rather than asteroids. Again, I've never actually tested it. It would also help if I were to put it in like in a different planet's orbit. But I digress. Anyways, we're just gonna go ahead and launch this thing. Alright, we'll begin our gravity turn here. And I don't mind if this is inclined. That may actually help us a little bit. In fact, I might purposefully incline it. Alright, booster separation, good. Alright, so apoapsis is almost out of the atmosphere, so I'm just going to go ahead and go pretty much horizontal. Oh, and our trail has disappeared, which is odd. Alright, so approximately 100 kilometers up. And we're about to hit 60 kilometers from sea level, so I'm going to go ahead and ditch the fairing. Also going to disable controls down here. And physics warp on up. Alright, we can expand our solar panels. Not that it matters, because we launched in the dark. Alright, good. And that is actually perfect. I wanted a highly inclined orbit. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get pointed towards that node. Maybe. Yes, this music is in-game. I believe it's copyright free. I hope it's copyright free. Right, about 10 seconds till it's burned. Oh, it is? Interesting. I thought it was composed for this game. Maybe. Alright, so now I'm just gonna go. I don't know if I want to burn here or. I'm actually gonna burn at apoapsis. Might seem a little unusual. Oh, am I getting a gravity assist there? Or is that a min-miss encounter? That's a mun encounter. I could gravity assist this. Maybe not. Alright, what is our final orbit going to look like? Not very inclined, actually. What if I were to... See, at this point I would need to add more anti-normal. Yeah, I think I'm just going to add anti-normal until we run out of delta B. We are getting secondary encounters. I'm just going to go slightly over. So I don't know if it needs to be in a circular orbit. I'm going to hope it doesn't. This is definitely not going to be a circular orbit, but... Alright, I'm just keeping an eye on this alarm here. Alright, and we will quick save and warp. Should only be one orbit around the planet. Alright, about another minute to go. Alright, 3, 2, 1, and burn. Alright, I'm going to hold stability assist and just do that. I guess a little more. Alright, and how long until we escape? It will be 3 days. Wow, that's actually a longer time in Kerbal orbit than I thought. That's 1 year. I want to here. Alright, time warp complete, and of course our debris is going to kind of be following us. But now I want to face, I don't know, normal? This is normal. Yeah, let's face anti-normal. Strange. I don't have... any reaction control. You know what? We don't because I removed the reaction wheel. Okay, so I guess we're just stuck in this position now. Alright then. Doesn't really matter. Oh, and I'm just realizing I put the solar panels like right in front of this guy. Do we have roll control at least? No. Okay, so we just have like very little. Whatever. Start object tracking. Alright, passing near Duna's orbit. That should be fine. And this will happen passively, so we don't have to sit here and check it. Oh, interesting. We actually could have just if we could have just had our old telescope do it. Oh well. Back to the Space Center. Alright, and we can recover this debris. Alright, and now I want to build a craft for this Sarnis window. Just check on our contracts. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to load up the Figaro 8. I should probably scroll down to the Fs, that would help. Alright, and because we have a goal of orbiting Sarnis, this means we do actually need to move on in our naming. So this will be the Juniper 1. And technically I could go and rename all those other craft that are going to orbit their target celestial bodies, but whatever. Okay, so right now, if we look in vacuum, this actually has more delta V than it's saying it does. So, like if I showed this, right? If I can remember how to do it, I believe if I do something like this. Oh, maybe it does actually have that amount of delta V. Okay, never mind. So let's ditch that. That should honestly be enough to orbit, but I kind of want to do more with this craft. So I'm actually going to modify this slightly. And the way I'm going to do that is, first of all, I'm going to put some RTGs up here. So it's just going to be 4, that won't give us a lot of electricity. It'll give us like 3.2 per second. I'll also put some passive solar panels, but those are barely going to give us anything, since we're going to be so far out from the sun. Just make sure they're not covering any of our science equipment. They are not. And I will stick an extra battery up top here. And then I want to remove all of this below here, because I'm just going to stick on a really small fuel tank. That's the wrong one. With a Terrier. And in vacuum, this will have 716. Tell you what, I will also stick on. Where are they? Here they are. 4 of these. There we go. That'll be 1795. Snapping off, make it local. Put those on in. Snapping back on. I am going to auto strut these. And then I want some actual struts here, just for that increased stability. Alright, and then below this, I want a TD12 decoupler, and we're going to just stick the rest of the craft right on here. I will have to redo the fairing, of course, and also I will need to check our staging, because it is all sorts of incorrect right now. So, you and you down here, you move up there, and I can actually get rid of the stage. So I need to rebuild the fairing. Just close it up there. Alright, and now at sea level, this has 1.19, which is a very low thrust to weight. But it will do the trick. So I'm gonna keep it. I need to move that up slightly. Actually, I need to move it up even more. Out there is good. That's still clipping. Okay, move it up a little more. Yeah, so as you can see, this craft is very expensive. $863,000. Which is why we're taking contracts and why we're gonna do the financial, like science to finance plan when we finish up the tech tree. But my goal here is to orbit Sarnus and then hopefully get some flybys of some of its moons. That's the idea here. So, let's check on our custom actions. So custom 1 is all of that, custom 2 is all of that, custom 3 is all of that. Alright. So this should be good to go. Although in an ideal world, I would stick some of these like small radiator panels on here, but they're really not that small. Just to help offset the heat from the RTGs. But it should be fine, honestly, so. I think we're just going to go ahead and launch this. Although, having said that, I'm actually going to leave this facility and warp about an hour ahead of that transfer window. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just warp ahead. Can I get to the day? Not quite. Okay, well. So it's going to be a nighttime launch. That's fine. So let's scroll down to the Juniper one and launch it. Alright. You know, I didn't check the new center of mass and the new center of lift. So we're going to hope it wasn't thrown off too much, and we're going to launch. Alright, very slow off the pad, of course. Oh, I actually turned a little early there. Now I want to turn. I still want to turn pretty slowly, though. Although, having said that, I do want to make sure that all this is going to clear the pad. It should, but just in case. Alright, booster separation is good. I can actually be turning over a little quicker. My apoapsis is already at 40 kilometers, and I'm only at like 55 degrees. So, not the most efficient launch profile, but should still do the trick. I'm actually just gonna go full horizontal. Alright, we can actually ditch the fairing pretty much now. Alright, main engine cutoff. And I'm going to go ahead and tell the canards to stop controlling. Okay. And we can extend the solar panels. Not that they're going to be much use where we're going. And this technically should be a relay, but I'm not going to sneeze about it too much. About there should be good. So we've got the reaction wheel here and the reaction wheel up here, basically turning this entire craft. So it's going to be a little slow to turn, but in fact, once we get up to this stage, we're only going to have the reaction wheel up here, which is going to be not great, but all right, we can go ahead and warp ahead. Oh, hello. Passed very close to Curtis 3B. Like, that was close enough to where we could see it for a second. Alright, I think I overshot slightly. I did. Yeah, that was our station. Wow, we passed incredibly close to that. That's pretty rare. But yeah, I do like how the distant object enhancement makes it to where it actually looks like how space station would when it orbits above you or near you. That's also why I put those lights on that one that I put around Minmus, and I keep forgetting to put lights on our newer craft. I need to remember to do that. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and show the eject angle here. Okay, so it's gonna be, I need to, something like this. Alright, and then it's gonna be, let's see, 2356.7, and it's gonna be at negative 1036.4. Alright, and I'm gonna go ahead and actually delete this and close the details. And I'm going to zoom way out and set Sarnus as our target. Pin this open, go to the next maneuver, because I suspect we'll have to add like 4 days worth of orbits-ish. 7-minute burn? Okay, that's kind of insane. Okay. So from here, I'm going to continue adding orbits just to see how close we can get. Okay. Can I do some anti-normal? I totally can. Because if possible, I want to get this equatorial. Ooh. Well, that's pretty close. Alright, I have a feeling if I add another orbit, it's going to jump to the other side. It does. So what if I added a little bit of... Prograde retrograde isn't really doing what I want it to, so I'm going to do some radial. There we go. Now, do I know the atmospheric height? $580,000. Okay. So as long as we don't go below that, but I want to get this incredibly close. So that's too close. Right there would honestly be perfect. Because we also know that if I pull up unknown objects, there's a lot of like Trojan asteroids just kind of hanging around. In fact, it even says that there's some like gargantuan ones, which is unusual. That's normally reserved for comets, but I probably actually need to get a telescope over here for that. But I do really want to see if I can get some flybys of the moons here. So that is going to be the maneuver we go for. If we can get aligned for the node, that'd be great. Alright, that looks close enough for now. I need to find a spot to zoom into. About here, and we will warp. I probably should have quick save, but it's fine. Alright, and because of how long this burn is, it's not going to be accurate at all. So I'm just going to try and get it close at least. But there probably will have to be a mid-course correction. So I'm going to go ahead and quick save here. And of course, because we're going to an outer planet, we are burning on the dark side. Alright, so this is where most of this burn is going to come in. And I am actually afraid of these heating up a little bit. So we'll have to see how that goes. I am going to physics warp. And I want to go back to the map screen, make sure that this at least gets close. Now, interestingly, if we were to accept this orbit, it doesn't even show our orbital line anymore. But as we know, we do plan on capturing. Yeah, poor Peggy. I highly doubt we're ever going to rescue Peggy, if I'm being honest. Because a retrograde orbit that far out is just insane. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get out of physics warp. We're actually getting a Joule encounter on the way back right now. Okay, so we do have an encounter, and it's kind of going the wrong way. I'm hoping it's going to come back, but maybe not. Tell you what, I'm going to kill it there. And I'm going to go back to us and say I want to be beyond the Mun's orbit. So let's say here in an hour. Going to focus back on Sarnus. And I'm just going to play around with this node a little bit. So what does prograde do? Kind of pushes us that way. What about radial? It looks like radial is where we want to be going. And a little bit of anti-normal? Yeah. So a little less radial. Oh, and we did have an encounter there with, looks like Elu. But I am still going to get it as close as we possibly can. We have an encounter with Slate there. Do a little more normal. I want to see if I can get this flat. Probably won't be able to get it flat, but let's do a little radial this way. Oh, that's way too close. Little. Actually, right there would be ideal. Let's get lined up for that maneuver. And I can go ahead and hide the unknown objects again. So interestingly, we can't actually see the orbital line for our other craft that's coming in, which is a little concerning. Because normally you are able to see that, but I wonder if it's only when it's in the sphere of influence of said celestial body. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and warp ahead, and I fully expect our line to get thrown off. Oh, no, actually. Okay. Alright, so about another minute to go. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go back to here. And I just want to warp out of the sphere of influence urban. So it's going to be around here. Our debris is obviously going to go just elsewhere. It's actually not even following us anymore because we changed our orbit. Alright, so we are now in the sphere of influence of the sun. So I want to, first of all, add an alarm for when that sphere of influence change occurs. And I'm going to do it 5 minutes ahead of time. So should see a Juniper 1 sphere of influence change. And it's actually arriving not too long after Figaro 3, which was the original craft we sent. And then I want to focus back on Sarnus. And I would like to capture. I'm going to say a minimum capture just to see what that looks like. Okay, a minimum capture is 567. What is Tecto's orbital height? 94 million? So what if I were to bring this even further down? Actually, to bring it all the way down, we're actually getting a slate encounter there. But to bring it all the way down is honestly not that much. I say that, it's actually a lot. 2,032. But then we still have like 2,000 to work with. And like if I were to say push this back up to do like a, I mean, not that this is actually going to work, but I mean that's actually a lot. 1342, yeah, that's kind of a lot. Okay, in that case, nope, I want to delete this maneuver. Okay, in that case, I think I'm just going to go for I didn't like that slate encounter. Oh, we're actually getting an Elu encounter here. But I don't like this slate encounter because, first of all, it slingshots us out. Which is not what we want. But it also kind of makes us extremely highly inclined. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go for Let's say 125 million-ish. Something like that. And I will add a alarm before that maneuver. We'll do like 4. All right, so that's going to be here. And we can unpin that. And we can just head back to the Space Center. All right, so we can recover our debris, of course. And I'm going to do something perhaps a little cruel. If I can click on anything. Hello? I can't even go to the tracking station now? Let me just save. Let me do a quick save, I guess. And load that quick save. Uh-oh. Game did not like that. Uh-huh. Well. Oh. Just do do this, I guess. Load. Well, this is new. Okay, we're back. Can I click things now? No. I can go to the pause menu and that's it. I can click the mod icons. I can't click any buildings. Okay, so I'm going to go to the main menu and completely reload from there and see if that works. All right, resume saved. Load. Nice, we have 69%. Okay, can I click things? No. What? I can do everything except click things. Okay, so really quickly, I am going to exit to desktop and reload the game. This is new. Not expecting this. All right, and now you get to see the background of my layout. Not that exciting. If the game will exit out. Okay, that was interesting. Yeah, there's the background of my layout. I gotta finish the Steam Cloud Sync. Come on. All right, and reload the game. Now you get to see the loading process. I think this happened in like episode 2 or 3 where the game crashed and showed the loading process, but Do do do. Alright, just waiting on the mods to load. Maybe. Alright. Start game. Zoom saved. Switch outer planets. Is it going to work this time? Okay. Ah, there we go. Okay, we can actually load things now. Jeez. Alright, so this might be a little cruel, but Peggy, you're not coming home. Oh, and it didn't give me another contract. Oh, that sucks. That was actually a lot of money. Okay, well, we have 2 days until this night on window. And I think I'm just going to launch the exact same craft. So, the only thing is I need to name it. So, similar thing with night on is we need to move on to the next naming scheme because I actually do want to capture this one. And actually I am going to edit it a little bit. So let's load up the Juniper 1. Okay, the way I'm going to edit it, that's hard to say, edit it, there we go, is I want there to be 4 attached nodes here. Which means it is going to be a tight squeeze. Not that this really does much. In fact, it's not even giving me a delta V readout. Show me that in vacuum, please. 3669. All right. I don't remember how much it was before, but oh, yeah. I just want that slight boost. So that our burns aren't like 7 minutes long. I mean, is it still going to be a 7-minute burn because of how far we're going? Probably. Oh, also, I just overwrote the Juniper one. Okay, that's gonna be the crypto one. I did not mean to overwrite the Juniper. Curse me and my need to save every 5 seconds. This probably did affect the thrust to weight just a little bit, but so yeah, this will be the crypto one. And what is our? Oh, where do my alarms go? There we go. Our next one is actually our next window is actually Drez. And I may just launch the same craft, even though it's way less delta V. I actually might launch the old craft for that. And then we have an Erlen window right after, which will be this craft. And then our next window is actually Jewel, and we don't really have anything for a while after that. Or like, we don't have anything for a while between Erlen and Jewel. Hmm. Have we sent anything to Jewel yet? gotta be something. Sarnus. Yeah, we sent this to Jewel. And we have a Moho transfer window. We also have the Eve to Kerbal window for the Ion 1. Tell you what, I might skip these two windows. Well, when is our next window after that for Duna? So it might not be for a while. Is this a flyby or an insertion? This one's an insertion. Decisions. Tell you what, I'm gonna launch this to Nidon. I'll launch one to Drez and one to Erlem. So it's, I mean, this is just gonna be the same thing over. Kind of makes for a boring stream. But I guess it is that portion of the game where you're just trying to grind a little bit. I know what we're going to do after Erlem. And it will be something quite different. So, of course, we have to do like the same launch 3 times before we do this, which is going to be a little boring. But kind of has to be done. So what I'm going to do is so this is the crypto one. I also want to save this as, okay, skipping L because this is going to happen after we launch something in Drez. This is also going to be the Mare one. And then I want to open the Figaro 8. And literally just copy paste the craft. This is going to be the Ludwig one. That's our next 3 craft right there. Alright, so I'm going to time warp ahead. I'm actually going to launch at sunset this time. Okay, so now we're going to grab the Crypto 1. And again, I apologize that it's basically just going to be the same launch, like, literally 3 times. But I promise the craft we're going to build after that will actually be interesting. Alright, so quick save and launch. Do. I always forget that there's this little island chain right here. Like the island airfield is here. You can actually kind of see it. Push it up a little more. You know, I just realized something. We don't have enough money to launch another one of these craft. That's awkward. That's really awkward. So we're gonna miss this Dres and Earlham window. Oh, it's ditch sparing. I didn't even think about that. So we're actually gonna have to, we're gonna have to complete some of these contracts, and we're gonna have to do it with under 350,000. We could do some rescue missions. That we could definitely do that, and then we could use the advance from some of the other contracts to pay for stuff. Man, I didn't even think about that. It's very rare that I find myself in financial trouble in this game. But that's what happens when you launch a bunch of craft that have nothing to do with your current contracts. That's also why I'm trying to turn science into money. Oh, and let's unfurl our solar panels. Now, there will 100% be a point in the game where, like, if I have somehow gotten science in every single biome I could possibly get science in, then at that point we'd have to start trading reputation or just doing contracts, although I don't think we'll get to that point in this series. Because to try and visit every single biome on every single celestial body would be, I mean, we'd be running this series until KSP2 actually became playable. Which, if you know, you know. Tell you what I'll do, actually. I know this is still a few days away, and we have an overkill amount of Delta B. I'm actually going to cancel this Nidon window, and I'm going to cancel the Earl. I want to send something to Dres because we haven't sent anything. So, show me my eject angle. And I'm going to add the maneuver. And I'm going to just go ahead and add an orbit so it doesn't scream at me. And then I need how much? 1528.7 prograde and just negative 54 of normal. Cool. And we are going to go ahead and close alarm details and delete the alarm. And we will set Dres as our target. And we're going to have to add quite a few orbits, I can already tell. Ooh, that's very close. Oh, stupid mud encounter. Good mud encounter. Now, interestingly, we have completely lost... There we go. Oh, that's actually a point away. Kind of thing where it's kind of going back and forth on whether it wants to give it to me or not. Stupid mud encounter. Gosh. I was about to say, it's so ridiculously close. I was like, how do we not have it yet? Ooh, Kerbal orbit. Jeez. Actually, I think I just completely goofed it. Oh, there we go. Boop. Welcome to another episode of me making maneuver notes. Radial, that can help? Yes, actually. Give me a very tiny amount of retrograde. Slightly less radial, actually, and then... Actually, I do kind of want this to be polar, come to think of it. But if I can just get it captured for now, that's fine. Yeah, because I kind of want it to be low. So that... Remember how high the highest peaks are? I'm going to assume that that's actually a little too close, and I'm going to go like 20 kilometers. That should be good. And this will actually be a somewhat accurate burn, because it's only 1 minute and 35. The thing that's probably going to throw it off is the staging. Hello, Sarnus. We have 2 craft on the way to you now. Alright, this is going to be a 15-day warp, so I actually need to definitely find a spot to zoom to. There we go. So, I mean, depending on how these contracts go... Oh, hello. Surface deployed ion science. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, depending on how these contracts go, it may be worth... it may get to the point where we have to skip these transfer windows as well, and maybe this Moho transfer window, and then start, like, get the Ion 1 back, and then just start going through these craft. I mean, next episode could totally be just continuing to dig myself out of a financial pit, which, ugh. Alright, about 24 seconds left to go. Alright, we have to be somewhat precise here, so. Oh boy, this is going to be painful if we don't get an encounter. Ooh! That encounter's terrible. Oh boy. Let's do a mid-course correction. Uh, Hour? Alright, cool. Focus back on Drez. What do I need here? Normal? Normal and radial this way. Okay. That's anti-normal and radial out. Any actually prograde would help a little bit here. That's a little too close, I'd say. Although we can actually make it polar here, but alright, about there should be good. Honestly, we could probably bring this lower. Don't think the highest peaks are that high. Yeah, let's go 12. Alright, and this is going to be a 1-second burn, actually. If we had RCS on here, I could do it with RCS, but alright, another minute to go. I'm actually not going to go the full minute before waiting. And I'm just going to very slowly bring it down here. Did I overburn it? I totally did. I stopped paying attention for half a second because I was looking at something for the next mission, I think. Oop, too far. You know what? Point me radial out. Or no, point me anti-normal. I'm gonna reference. I just read the word reference on my other screen, and so I totally. Not good enough. Okay. And this is definitely going to be a, like, you know, put the maneuver in the alarms, not the. Realistically, I should put this in a high orbit. I should put this in a high orbit. Do a 200-kilometer orbit. Add this to the alarms. Give me 6 minutes warning. And this is called the Crypto 1, so Crypto is now for Drez instead of Nidon. Okay. That is fine by me. Let's go back to the Space Center. So I need to check something for a contract. Because we can get at least 2 contracts done in one mission. I want to see if we can get a third done in the same mission, or if it's going to be a little complicated. Okay, I'm not going to recover that debris quite yet, because that's kind of scary. Okay. Highlands, Polar Lowlands, or Midlands? Find a one large clear and CRSY light scanning arm. Okay. Okay. Here's the idea. I mean, one, we can do rescue missions. They just won't give us a lot of money. 1, 2, 3. Do 3 of these. Oh, you know what? I actually want to go to the, not here. I want to go to the space plane hangar. Alright, so in the space plane hangar, we, of course, have built a couple things. Built the Apple to our rovers, and we built this guy. Which, its control point was sideways because I moved it sideways. We need to build another rover. I am not going to touch this. This is the orientation that this will be in forever. Also, I need to check. Okay, don't save. I need to check what version of the diamond we're on. Alright, diamond 9? Really? Okay. This is going to be the diamond 9. Only going to have one of these. Although I should put 2, because that will throw off the center of balance if I don't put 2. Plus, it's always nice to have a backup. So we have the Rove Mate, which I didn't realize there were variants of this. So we have white, silver, and gold. Let's do the silver one. Why not? So we have the Rove Mate. And on this, I want to immediately get some structural stuff. I want to get a SP12 structural panel. And I actually am going to clip it onto the bottom here. Just because I want to protect the rover casing from, you know, from getting damaged. In fact, I may do that all the way around. Like, I can put multiple of these. I could do something like this, where I just protect it on the side. But anyways, I digress. Oh, you know what? I should have done an SP18. Yeah. Even a 25. Is that too ridiculous? That might be too ridiculous. That's better. Just to protect the rover housing, of course, or the Rove Mate. Now, I think it would be neat to have these, but I'm not going to worry about it. Instead, what I'm going to do is we're going to have our like important electric stuff up here. So like our batteries will be here. I'm actually going to move towards the back so that our center of mass is a little bit better. I'm going to have a passive solar panel up here. Right there, and I would like to offset it a little bit just to move it in. I am going to put a rover casing on the back of here. Or, not a rover casing. What do you call it? Whatever this piece is, the structural piece. We're gonna just do it like that. I would like to auto strut most of this. So auto strut root part, auto strut root part. Can't auto strut batteries or oh, you can auto strut solar panels. You just can't auto strut batteries. That's fine. Because like, where's the center mass right now? It's towards the front, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. Give me a. I'm also just gonna do one of these back here. I'm gonna auto strut this, but I'm also going to like actually strut it to there. So on the front here, I want some lights. There we go. And then on the back of here, first of all, I am actually going to put a some solar panels back here. Although I kind of want to move further apart. There we go. What is this like? Can I make these the light variation? Nah, I like the dark one better. Okay. And then we need an accelerometer, which I'm just gonna put right in the middle. And we need the CRSY light scanning arm. Which actually, how much do each of these weigh? 0.14, 0.36. Can I get something that's exactly 0.1? This guy? Okay, so I have an idea. You are gonna go here. And that did not quite snap where I want. You're gonna go here. You are gonna go just here. I'm just putting these for weight balancing. Because what I actually want is the center mass is still gonna be this way. But then I'm going to put a narrowband scanner here to offset the mass. And what's kind of neat is like if I deploy it, oh, never mind. I thought it would spin in here, but if you deploy it, it can spin. That's fairly central. Not that this really does much good. Oops. It's not what I meant to click. Not that this really does much good. Like over here. That's the scanning range, so we need to pull off to the left of something when we find it. Good to know. I don't think we can auto strut this. No. Okay. And now we need some wheels. Which, honestly, in addition to wheels, I'm gonna put some... I don't think 1x1 is what I want. I mean, it's gonna take 3 of these to go across here, which is kind of annoying, but... Actually, I could just use like modular girder segments maybe? No, those are too big. Cubic octagonal struts. I can use these. And actually, I want to move the back here. So like closer to that side, and then I want these here. You can't auto strut those, which is rather annoying. So I'm gonna use struts. Even though I probably don't need to, because these are technically struts themselves, but just in case. I mean, this guy's pretty big. Like, 2 meters across is nothing to sneeze at. But then we need some rover wheels. And is this going to be too big? Not really. It can go 58 meters a second, which is insane. Ruggedized vehicular wheel. I believe I need these to be like that. Which I guess I need to figure out. Is this overkill? This is probably overkill. I'm also doing drop center slightly. Although it's really hard to tell if I'm doing this correctly. Actually, you know what I can do? Move. Move. Although, that detaches it, though. And that's a little too much drop center. Let me just do something like this. There we go. Auto strut locked heaviest part, that's fine. I'd like to see what that part is. Okay. So I want to check that our steering is correct. I also want to make sure that drop center isn't too bad. In fact, not rotate. Slightly up further. Let's just go ahead and put this out on the runway. Alright. So, forward is forward, that's good. And I want to see, like, control point is forward and control from here. Right is right. I need to actually turn off steering on these back wheels. I only want to steer with the front wheels. Okay, so let's revert to spaceplane hangar. So steering U is going to be disabled, and steering U is going to be disabled. Alright, so let's save that. Let's see how it controls. Okay, so should only have steering on the front wheels. Steering's a little rough. Alright, if I like full send it off the runway, am I gonna tip over? No. Alright, what if I brake at 24 meters a second? We're fine. Alright then. Also, does this thing spin if I deploy it out here? Yeah! Okay. Anyways, that's all I wanted to show out of that. Okay, so let's revert that to the spaceplane hangar. Okay, and I'm just going to attach a Ampletron docking port to the back of this thing. Which annoyingly, we'll probably have to reroute it to that temporarily. What is rigid attachment? I'll put it on, sure, why not? Actually, I can Google that. KSP, what is rigid attachment? Oh. I actually don't want that, okay. Anyways. I want to switch editors. And I want to build new craft. Alright, Diamond 9 rocket. So, this will all be based on a probe core. And I'm just gonna instantly make it a large probe core. Also just gonna make it a relay because I can. Alright, and I'm actually gonna swap this out for a sec. I'm gonna put this directly on here. Gonna house all of our batteries in there just because I can. Solar panels, I think we're just gonna do 2 of the, not those. Actually, that might work out a little better. We're just gonna do 2 of these on the side. Alright, and then, how do I want to do that? Give me a large holding tank here. Which I need to attach to the... There we go. And if I do... Let's see. If I do a... I don't think that's going to be enough. Let me just get my drills. Only going to do 2. And I need thermal control systems. I think mediums do the trick. Oh, let's see. First of all, you get out of here. Required cooling 100 kilowatts, max cooling 100 kilowatts. Each of these does 250 kilowatts. Okay. We can do this one actually. Yeah, we can just do the smalls. Although I do like the... Yeah, I like the expandable one. Anyways. If I were to do a 16, let me see. Vacuum, the mun. The poodle, that's 2039. That should be enough to land. Is it enough for these to reach? Yes. I need to be careful with it though. So give me some, LT2s? Yeah. I only went 2 lights here. Oops. Oh god. Oh no. Something like that. And then I want 2 Neptron docking ports. Pretty much as low as I can get them. Let me save this, and then I need to merge in this rover. Merge. And I don't know if it's gonna let me. No. So annoyingly, I have to reroute this. Yeah, like that. This is obviously very wide, which means this craft is going to get real expensive real fast. Let's retract these. So this is also going to be quite entertaining to land. We're going to have to land really slowly. But this also only has 1443 delta V. Let me take everything off of here and replace this with a 32. And of course 2 of these guys. And 4 these guys. Which, again, this is going to be absolutely entertaining to land, but... Save that. Alright, below this, give me a TD25 decoupler. And... like, so this is, in theory, enough to get to the mun, circularize, and land. I am still going to do a transfer stage, though. This is where things get expensive. I do have a budgetary constraint. I guarantee a 3.75 meter fairing. Oh. It doesn't quite do the trick. Tell you what. Let me do a 16 here. With another poodle. Oh, it's only 703. I do this with a skiff. Oh, that's even worse. You have 350, you have 380, but you are... Alright, let's do a wolfhound. That's going to be transfer stage slash whatever else we need it to be. Oh, what's our thrust to weight over the mud? 4. Yeah, I wasn't expecting great things. Alright, TD25 decoupler. So it looked like a 3.75 meter fairing may actually do the trick. I don't want to chance it, because if that breaks the wheels, then we're screwed, because there are no Kerbals to fix this. So we're going to do an absolutely ridiculous 5 meter fairing. It doesn't quite do the trick. Okay. Nope, place my cross section. Alright. Most ridiculous fairing I think I've ever designed. Oh, and there's not a single reaction wheel on this. I just realized that. Alright, there is now. Okay, so our antenna is technically sticking out of there, but that's fine. And then, of course, we need struts galore. I also want to be auto-strutting in absolutely everything I can be. I've kind of been forgetting about that. Okay. This is absolutely ridiculous. Oh dear. Undo that. Let me just auto as well. Let me get some custom actions going. So custom, I don't know, custom 3, toggle, custom 4, start surface harvester. I don't even know. Custom 2, toggle solar panel. Custom 1 will be disable wing. Yeah, those. So we have to get this thing into orbit. And I mean into orbit. Like, what I'm about to build, I want to be our ascent and orbital stage, ideally. So, let's grab an S... Wrong one. Oh, geez, this is going to be absolutely ridiculously huge. Oh, this is already getting super expensive. How much is a mainsail? 13,000? Okay. Why does it look like that? I was like, I don't think it's supposed to look like that. This could do it, it just doesn't have the thrust to weight. It still doesn't have the thrust to weight. Can I get 4 more? The answer is no. Okay. Oh man. Oh man, oh man. Save that. I have about 40,000 left to design this rocket. And if this fails, like, we're out of money. That's what's terrifying about this. I believe these auto struts are locked. They are not. Okay. I believe mainsails are technically more expensive than vectors. No, vectors are even more expensive. Okay, glad I didn't go for vectors. So our thrust to weight right now is 0.97. It is so close to being how high we need it. So what I'm gonna do, this has the delta V, it just needs a little push to get it off the surface. How high do we need to be before we have above a 1 thrust to weight? Not that high. We only need to be about 10 kilometers. So if we can get something to push us up to about 10 kilometers, I think it's going to have to be Clydesdales. I mean, obviously these on their own are not going to do it. Actually, they almost do. But I want these to go at the same time, and I want to decouple them after. This will do it, 1.47. Let me get some advanced. Nope, wrong nose cones. This one. I need to get struts galore here. Oh, we're out of money. Okay, I have a plan. It's fine. I need to see the total cost of the rocket before I panic and do some sellouts. How much are Separatrons? Not that much. Okay. Okay, and the last thing we're going to need is wings. Which is, of course, going to be our standard canard. Oh, now interestingly, it's saying we have a sideways aerodynamic vector. I want to ignore that. Kind of just hope it's lying to me. Okay, so we are about 36,000 short of launching this rocket. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go see what our options are. We can do a bailout grant. We can also do a research rights sellout. If I sell all 113 of my science, that does not even get us close to enough. How much reputation do we have? Okay. We're gonna do this. That took our reputation way down, obviously. But we can now afford to launch this. This is our most expensive, well, not most expensive. This is something I've never actually had to do in this game before, which is interesting. But this has to work. Otherwise, we are out of money. So, we're going to launch this thing. Okay, SAS on. Get maneuver mode open. Let's close the alarms list. That. Full throttle, go. Ridiculous fairing design, but it's fine. Alright, start the gravity turn. We can be gravity turning a little harder here. In fact, I could have drained some solid fuel out of here, and that would have actually saved us the money. I didn't even think about that. I mean, our reputation is now in the shitter, but that's fine. I mean, I need to be getting horizontal speed, like, now. Alright, ditch the solids. And I'm just gonna turn over. I'm actually gonna sacrifice some of our apoapsis right now, because it'll raise back up. Because we need a lot of horizontal speed right now. Alright, we can ditch the fairing. That's what I was afraid of. Our wheels are actually turning, so I'm going to turn on our brakes. That our wheels aren't turning. There we go. We have about 2 minutes till this apoapsis. So, of course, at apoapsis, we will burn prograde. About a circuit it's going to get. We don't have a lot of control right now. And I realize that. And we can also unfurl our solar panels, but in fact, we have so little control that I'm actually going to leave our wings enabled. Alright, so I'm going to quick save, and I'm going to warp forward. And you might be asking, why am I not just loading to an earlier save, like right before I launched the Grescraft? And the answer was, it was my mistake. Like, I should have realized how little money we actually had. Does it mean like our contracts may not be as good as they could otherwise be? Yes. We do have a couple that we can do though that won't cost a lot of money. This one's going to be the most expensive one, especially because I'm trying to do 3 at once. I guess I have something. Is this something that's in the? Yeah, it's this debris right here. Just somehow still in Kerbal orbit. I would have thought that would have left with what do you call it? Like with the craft that we launched. Anyways. So one's about here. We need. So this will kind of work out because it's right at periapsis. Focus view. That's actually pretty good right there. Although I do want it a little closer. Not that close. About there's good. All right, and we will slowly get turned over. I'm gonna quick save and I'm gonna physics warp it to let it turn. All right, so about there is good. I'm going to head and warp. And it did drift off the node slightly, which is kind of annoying. Hopefully 1 minute is enough where it gets back on the head and physics warp just to see. And yeah. It's Erlem there. We would have sent something to you and to you as well, but you know, things happened. We're actually using electric charge, although that doesn't surprise me actually, because we're in the dark right now, but oh dear. So I overburned. So I need to flip over to retrograde. So this is going, it annoys me that that is going to drift. It's actually only drifting when we're in. It's fascinating. All right. That right there is good enough. Gonna quick save and here, oops. And I'm gonna circularize low. That looks like it's not hitting any mountains, so that's good. It's actually almost perfectly where we need to be. All right, so I'm gonna quick save and warp. And our delta V did change, which means our orbit probably changed. Just want to make sure it didn't change by too much. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. All right, hello, Mun. There's actually something, Northwest Crater. Cool. So I'm gonna warp ahead just a little bit. All right, close enough. So we're in a circular orbit now. Sure that we're now. I'd rather do this during the day, honestly. We just need to get it to where our inclination is going to pass over here. That site at least every couple of orbits. like that. Need to be even more aligned, which is kind of like that looks like it's going to pass over at least twice per orbit, or like, you know, going to pass over that inclination at least a couple times. So we need to get lined up for that. Which I know I'm slightly over 2 hours right now. I at least want to get this set up to land. But the plan is, not that you can see right now, but where these sectors are is in the southwest crater. Because we just passed the northwest crater. If I pull up the flags, you'll see. Just past the northwest crater flag. So we're heading towards the southwest crater. Also, our base, I believe, is right about there. Yeah. And the Mun large crater that we need to scan with our rover arm is in either the polar lowland, the midland, or the highlands biome. Now, there is a midlands biome not too far north. I say not too far. It is still quite a drive, but it's not too far north of where the seismic scanning sites are. So that's why I brought along the rovers. They're so that we can drive to the seismic scanning sites and then drive to the Midlands biome. But we also packed the drill so that we can drill up the ore we need to. So that's the 3 contracts that we're trying to do. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if those contracts are even going to pay for this mission. Combined, I'm hoping they do, but I don't actually know. Maybe between streams, I'll check the contract rewards just to make sure that this was actually worth it. Otherwise, yikes. I've also still got my brakes enabled because I don't want the wheel spinning, because that's going to throw us way off. So obviously this is going to have move. But we should be coming up on Northwest Crater not too long now. There's Minmus right there. Yeah, there's Northwest Crater. We passed another one back here. Okay. I overburned slightly, but I think all that did was raise my apoapsis. Yes. Okay, so off stream, I'm going to check the contract rewards. I'm also going to set this up to where we can land. And I may even do the landing off stream. No, I'll do the landing on stream, and I think next stream we'll just be driving this rover around, honestly. Yeah, so was not expecting to go into financial ruin, but regardless, thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, so this is about to get real interesting. I can already tell you right now, we're going to skip these next 3 transfer windows, and we're going to focus on these. So next stream we'll be driving the rover around, and then we'll be getting our crew back from Eve, as well as maybe sending something to Moho. I highly doubt. In fact, I'm just going to cancel that Moho. So yeah. Look forward to hopefully pulling ourselves out of bankruptcy next stream, but regardless, thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.